Okay, hit it.
Ooey-Gooey Candy Company by Kade-Walter Rajad. The box. Okay. Tap it one more time. Okay. We think that the dimensions 3x2x2 are the best, like Jake and Chandler and Reagan and Devin did. Because it's very portable and it can fit in small places like pockets or, like they said, purses. And we think that it's more portable than all the other ones because it has the smallest surface area. So, and then we also think that they look the best to customer appeal and commercial appeal because they're not really long and skinny and not really fat and short. It's like just right. And then it also costs less, costs less because it requires less materials to make because it has the smallest surface area.
Hey, Cade, do you think you might have a reason why that shape is a smaller surface area than, say, the 1x12x1?
I think because all their faces are pretty small. Not like amazingly small, but I think they're pretty small. Because like on the really long skinny one, the 12x1x1, there's like 4 sides of 12, which is 48, plus the 2 top ones, which is 50. And then the other ones, which the 4x3x1, the surface area is 38, which isn't that much more than this. But their sides are bigger because there's like 4x3x1, not by 8. I think I said 8. 4x3x1, and there's 4 sides of 4, like that.
You're on the right track. Let me give you all an analogy to think about. Don't answer it yet, but put this in your mind to mull on. So, if those 12 cubes represented 12 apartments in an apartment building, right? Okay? And you were the owner of the apartment building, and you agreed that the people who rented from you, you paid all the utilities, which would be the electric bill and the water, etc. And say it's a really cold winter, and you're paying for the heating bill. Which building would you rather own? Would you rather own the one that's, hold up, Walter, hold up your all's red. Would you rather own that building, or Bennett? Will you hold up one of the long skinnies there? Or would you rather own that building? Because in this building that Bennett's holding up, every apartment has multiple walls on the outside, right? Are there? Look at the walls of this. Every apartment has some walls outside, but are there as many walls on the outside of the building as that one? Don't answer yet, but think about that. Could that possibly have something to do with the surface area? Do you think so, Cade?
I think that because it's closer together and more compact. So, and I think all of these buildings are touching at least 2 sides.
Yep. So let me say this. So are there more interior walls in those apartments in that building than in Bennett's building?
Yes.
Yes. No.
There are no interior walls in that one, are there?
No. No.
But there are in that one?
Yeah. Because...
Go ahead.
Okay. Because it's like...
Who's following what I'm saying? Who sees what I'm saying? Okay? In Bennett's building, every house, every unit, the 12 units, every bit of it's outside walls. So they're going to be harder to heat. Remember we talked about heat? Because they're going to be conducting heat. Remember talking about that? So all that heat loss is happening. What about that building that you all have, Cade?
This one is, like, at the maximum. I don't know if this really makes sense, but all his buildings are, like, buildings.
All his units, apartment units.
Are like really far apart, especially the two end ones. While the ones on here, the most blocks they're getting away from each other is one or two. Which means that there's going to be more interior walls. While on that one,
okay, let me ask y'all this. Everybody follow this. Bennett, hold up yours. Pretend like Bennett. Okay, Alondra, do this. Okay, pretend like that is a big vat of chocolate. Now, Bennett, drop those squares of nougat into there. Now, pull it out. Now, hold it up. Okay, now, think about how much of all those nougats are touching the caramel vat. They got caramel on them, right? Okay, now, Cade, come over here and dip yours into the big vat of chocolate, your nougat, and tell me, now drop that in. Okay, now, hold it up. Look at all of the pieces of the squares that did not get chocolate on them. They're on the inside there that aren't outside. Think about Bennett's and think about Cade's. Hold them up still. Hold them up. Okay? A whole lot more candy got covered with Bennett's than did with Cade's. That would be like the surface area, correct? Wouldn't that be like the surface area? So there's a lot more surface area got covered on Bennett's stack than on Cade's. So think about that. We're going to actually, thank you. We're going to actually decompose that and look at that on the screen when we're all finished. But think about that while we're going through, because that's the reason behind why certain boxes are cheaper. We'll get to that though. All right. So go ahead.
Okay. It went out. I didn't do it.
Did it fell loose?
I think we made a mistake, and I just realized it on this slide.
It says.
All right, got it?
Okay, what we did was we took every whole number multiplication sentence that's answer was 1, pretty much, like 4 times 3. Yeah, 4 times 3,
times
the answer
1.
is 12. And then for those ones, we just added times 1 to the end. For the other dimension. But the one that we chose was 3 by 2 by 2.
Right. There was no 1 in yours.
So for that one, we just multiplied 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12.
That's right.
Because we figured out that the volume of the box was always going to be 12.
Yep.
So we just made sure that everything's volume was 12.
Yep.
Our answer was 12.
Yep.
And that's how we decided.
Okay, let's see. I'm doing this right now because it's connecting to what you're saying. Because this is what I was going to say at the end. So, what you noticed was all the other boxes were all times 1. And your box has got a times 2 in it. There's no times 1 in it. So, all the ones that have times 1, that means it's no more than 1 thick, right? So that's forcing more surface area because more of the candy is getting coated in that vat of chocolate, right?
Yes.
It would be good, but it's costing the company more, right? Yeah, of course it's good. But I'm saying if you're looking at cost effectiveness, that's more stuff getting used, right? Or more paint, or more wrapper, or whatever that's being used on the same amount of chocolate or the same amount of candy. You see what I'm saying? Because it has more. It's because it has more exterior faces. There are more exterior faces. If that was me sitting there, I'd be writing that word down because that's probably helpful. Because the ones that have a 1 in their dimensions have more exterior faces. You know what a face is. You know what exterior means. You know what more means. Put all that together in your noggin.
That sounded really smart.
How do you spell your name?
My name? M-U-R-R-E-L-L.
2 R's, 2 L's. And again, I will deconstruct that thought process for you later. But be thinking on that. That's the why behind this.